Hello guys, shall we start? Are you able to hear me right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Introduction to data science. I think you people already done some research about data science. Correct. Okay, fine. Today you see, I'm going to be cover following topics. Today my objective, what I can cover in this particular session. Okay. What is data science? And where people are using this data science, I mean in industry where people are using exactly this data science, and who are eligible for this course. I mean maybe you are different kind of backgrounds, correct? Maybe you got doubt, maybe you have some doubt in the mind, am I eligible to learn this course or not, correct? And why you want to be learn this particular data science or artificial intelligence course, and how you will become a data scientist, and what are the skills you needed, and the skills will be support to become as a data scientist or not. If yes, what kind of skills you need to learn. Okay. And what is my flow for entire curriculum of this data science course? Okay, I can explain one by one clearly. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free and ask me. Okay, fine. Before going to start data science, what is data? Of course, we know data, right? Let's compare with the curriculum. I mean, maybe you are a BTech guy, or maybe you are a master's guy. You are pursuing some course. You elected some subjects in the MS course or MSc course or master's course or BTech course. Maybe you are a computer science guy, or maybe you are electronics guy, something else like that. Okay. Um, uh, okay, if you're a computer science guy, in the sense you have a lot of subjects in your BTech, in first year, in second year, in third year, like that. Correct. So here, the entire particular subject and that particular subject and that particular uh, textbook, we can say that is data. Not only that, today we are going to review the newspapers, what is happening in India due to COVID, or apart from COVID, what is happening in the politics. We can go with the newspapers and the media, etc. We are understanding something. I mean, everything is the data, correct? But okay, data here, according to me, okay, my definition is like data is defined as a facts or figures or information that is stored in or used by the computer. Okay, I don't think, I mean, I think this is very easy, this definition, right? Okay, even if you feel it is really hard of this definition, not a problem. Okay, just imagine data is everything. Okay, even we have in our mind, we have a lot of activities to do today. Okay, we can think precisely, or we can do per minute by minute, correct? So everything, something is in the mind, so that is the data, correct? Okay, even see, we can get the email. Yes, the email is having some data. I mean, uh, that is also a data. And if you want to be uh, if you are looking some movie, yes, we can get some data. Even that movie is having the data, we are collecting the data and we are storing in our mind as a data itself, correct? Great. Everything is a data. Okay. And here we have different types of data too. Okay, in data science, in that particular word, I'm purely talking about the data right now, because first we have to be understand the data, correct? So data, here we have different types of data. We can say qualitative data. Universally, we have two types of data. One is qualitative and one is quantitative. Quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative is purely talking about the numbers. Quantitative is purely talking about the numbers. Okay, that numbers may be fixed, that means discrete we can say, and the numbers may be continuous, that is fractional numbers at decimal points are floating. If you are a computer science background, yes, or maybe you are having some programming knowledge, then you can say of floating point numbers, correct? That floating point numbers comes under the continuous data, and the fixed numbers in the sense how many students are attended for this session, or how many, what is the strength of the classroom, okay, how many professors we have, and how many visitors viewed my current website, how many purchases are happened today, so how many products got sold out today. These are all comes under discrete. These are all comes under discrete. Why? Because yes, we are counting a fixed number value. Yes, I got today 100 customers. Yes, today I got 30 students. Yes, I got 50 students, like that. So some fixed number, right? So this we are counting in the numbers format. So discrete, discrete, quantitative, and continuous also quantitative. I mean, both are quantitative is talking about the numbers itself. And other point is, not only quantitative numbers are the data, at the same time, qualitative data also there. Qualitative data also there. What is qualitative data? Here we have another name of qualitative, that is called categorical data. Categorical data. So here what do you mean by categorical data or qualitative data? So what it means, a type of data can't be counted or measured in numbers. Oh, really? Is that possible? Yes, of course. See, see, what is your color of your face? I can say blue or white or black, something else, but I cannot count. Yes, number one, yes, number two. I cannot give the numbers, right? Correct. And how is this flower? Uh, It is beautiful. Wow. Here I'm not using any numbers. Correct. So this kind of data can be comes under the categorical or qualitative. Okay. Not only that, gender of a person, I can say male or female. Correct. I can say male or female. Correct. But here I'm not segregating like one, two, three, like that. No, right? Correct. These are all comes under the categorical. Not only that, if you want to be extracted data from audio, audio in the sense some voice, some songs, etc. Okay, audio and video or text. Okay, etc. etc. That data is talking about the categorical at the same time. That means a smartphone brand that provides information about current ratings. Okay, some guys can give 4.5, some guys can give so 2.5, some, I mean, not only that. Oh, I'm talking about the numbers, correct? No, no. Yeah, I'm segregated as the numbers, but the people are talking about my brand is excellent, my brand is good, my brand is bad comparing to other brands, my brand is average comparing to the market brands. Oh, these are all comes under the categorical variables. Okay, so here in the categorical variables, we have nominal at the same time ordinal variables too. Okay, nominal at the same time ordinal. I mean, that means Qualitative or categorical variables are segregated as a two kinds, nominal and ordinal. Okay, in the nominal, these nominal variables cannot possess a natural ordering. Possess, it cannot possess a natural ordering. What it means, for example, the color of a smartphone can be considered as a nominal. Okay, and here I am not comparing the colors of smartphone, like one is black phone, one is white phone, one is a gray, etc. It is not possible to state that red is greater than blue or black is greater than white. It cannot be possible, correct? These kind of variables, not only that, the gender, male and female, these are also comes under the nominal kind of variables, under the qualitative variable. Okay, but what do you mean by ordinal? What do you mean by ordinal variable? And it possesses a natural ordering. It possesses a natural ordering. What is the difference between nominal and ordinal? In the sense, nominal variables does not possess a natural ordering, and ordinal variables possess a natural ordering. That means, just imagine if someone is in the ICU, some relative or some of your friend or some other guy is in ICU. What is, of course, ICU in this is a serious patient, but the doctor has to be treated immediately. In this sense, what is the severity? Is that person really having severe issue, or moderate issue, or normal issue? That means here it is, possessing one perfect order, correct? One perfect order. Is that normal? If not normal, then it is belongs to moderate. Oh, if it is not moderate, then it is will be like severe. Oh, then it is possessing the order, correct? Not only that. Oh, okay. Let me take the student marks. Okay. Is that first class guy, or is that second class guy, or is that third class guy, or is that distinction? We have only four. I mean, if he is not in distinction, then he will be in the first class. If not in the first class, then he will be in the second class. If not in the second class, maybe he's failed, third class or failed, like that. So it is following some order, correct? So those kind of variables are talking about the ordinal. Okay, ordinal. Students, I think you got the better knowledge about what is data and what kind of data available for the research, how to solve the problems. Okay, so now in the data we talk about data, correct? In our data science, yes, we talk about data. Yes, data is over, we have different kinds of data. Fine. Now we have to talk about the science. What is science? What is science? Science is the systematic approach or systematic methodology to solve business problems by using the data to get insights. To get insights. Oh, it's interesting, right? What is data science? Data science is nothing but a we have to be use a systematic approach or systematic methodology and data to get insights. Oh, quite interesting, right? But how we have to be use systematic methodology and systematic approach? Correct. Here we have to be follow these kind of steps are these kind of methodology to get insights on the data. Okay, so here you see, I think you got my screen, correct? So first Here you see, I have to be start with the problem identification. Okay, then I have to be go with the business understanding. Okay, yeah, Ram. I think now it is better. My voice is very clear, I guess. Correct. Okay, great. Thank you, Ram. Okay, first problem identification is very important. Then we have to be go for business understanding. Then we have to be go for data acquisition. Then we have to be go for data understanding. Okay, then we have to be go for feature engineering, and in between we have to be perform some visualization. I mean, how the data and what is the relationship between the data, etc, etc, we have to be understand. Correct. Or is there any outliers? I mean, we'll talk about later all these keywords. Okay, but here I'm talking about the methodology, how we have to be implement on the data. Okay, so first problem identification, then we have to be go for business understanding, then we have to be go for data acquisition, then we have to be go for data understanding. Okay, then we have to be go for feature engineering, what are the features from the data. And now we have to be create one model, and before that we have to be divide the data into different sections like train set, test set, and validation, like that. Okay, we'll talk about all okay in the further sessions in depth. Okay, not only that, our model deployment, okay, and model monitoring. Parallelly, more data drift analysis we have to be perform on the model deployment. At the same time, model drift analysis can be applied on model monitoring. Okay, okay. Then we have to be show on the dashboard what we have solved by using the data. Okay, if some problems are happened, okay, at the time of model creation or model monitoring, etc, etc, we have to be go back. Okay, we have to be go back and uh, where till data acquisition, then we have to be check up for the data, then we have to be follow the entire methodology. Interesting. Yes, as a data scientist we have to be follow this systematic methodology. Okay, then this methodology to be applied on the data, then we can get some insights. Okay, that means what exactly this data is talking about, in the sense it is giving one solution, it is profitable to the customer or it is profitable to the organization. That kind of solutions can be understand with this entire methodology. So data science, we have the data, we are applying some systematic methodology to find insights from the existing data. This is what exactly the data science word is talking about. Making sense, guys? Making sense, guys? Okay, let's talk about problem identification. How do you find problem identification and business understanding, data acquisition, okay, data understanding, okay, like that. We talk briefly about one by one. Okay, in regular sessions, yes, we have to understand more clear way. Okay, and one point at one session, like that. Okay, okay. So here problem identification. First we have to be identify the root cause of a problem. Okay, how do you identify the problem is the biggest question. Of course, problem identification, and we have to be do some root cause analysis. Okay, for that, how do you identify the problem? Okay, so here you have to be coordinate with the stakeholders. Stakeholders, I mean, that means business people, and at the same time industry experts. okay, who can provide the solutions. And as a data scientist, I have to be sit with both of these guys, and I have to be discuss about the business. Okay, okay, there I can collect some data. Okay, if even I have some, I mean, I have some issues while collecting the data, or I have to be go with the literature reviews, okay, or to collect the information from the social medias, or I have to be do some surveys, etc., etc. I have to be follow. Finally, I have to be collect some data. Okay, then okay, problem got identified. Okay, problem got identified. Then I have to be go for the business understanding. Okay, understanding the business problem is the key. Okay, in coming up with a good model, because it makes you understand the business object to that. What do you mean by this? For example, if you are a credit, if you have a credit card, okay, and maybe I'm taking all the credit cards, and I'm just taking the credit card, or transactions, or I'm providing the new credit cards. But how I have to be understand who is the risk customer, who is not the risk customer. I have to be decrease the risk customers, right? Then I can that will be the profitable for my bank. Correct, correct. So that way, the business understanding is very important while you are solving as a data scientist. I mean, you are solving a problem as a data scientist in the sense, not only problem identification. If you are even identified a proper problem, then you have to be understand that business. Okay, that means that problem is belongs to banking, or that problem is belongs to uh, retail, or manufacture, or healthcare, etc. That will be very added and advantage. Okay, okay, oh, fine. Now data acquisition. Generally, I hear you see, I have written ETL2, correct? Yeah, ETL, extracting, transforming, and loading. Generally, okay, where generally pull the data from external sources. Okay, from external sources. If it is external sources, yes, we have to be keep into the data warehouse. Okay, for that we have to be use ETL. Okay, ETL, generally extracting from single source, or extracting from multiple sources. Okay, and then we have to be transform the data according to our business logic. Generally here, transformation in the sense we have to be do lot of work here. Okay, generally the data engineers can do lot of work here itself, like data cleaning, data manipulation, data wrangling. That kind of techniques can be applied, okay, at the time of transforming, I mean, in the data acquisition phase itself. Okay, then finally we have to be load and we have to be stored at one place. I mean, after purified the data, I mean, the data cleaning, missing values, okay, and some the data is, I mean, some null kind of value are there, then we have to be remove and we have to be rename that null kind of values, etc., etc. We have to be do. Okay, once we done all that kind of stuff, then we have to be load and we have to be store into the target data source. That means we have to be store purified data into any one of our system or any place. Correct, correct, fine. After that, after that, we have to be do data understanding. That means exploratory data analysis. Here, exploratory data analysis in the sense, here we need to be understand statistics. Here we need to be understand statistics. Uh, Generally, statistics in the sense, of course, to we have the problem. We have the problem statement. We have the problem statement to be solved. Then for that we have to be collected some sample data, and what exactly this sample data is talking about, and we have to be visualized the same kind of. But here in the statistics we have two kinds of things. Here in the statistics we have two kinds of, the statistics is divided by two. One is descriptive statistics, and other one is inferential statistics. The descriptive statistics is talking about what is the current situation of the business. For example, okay, just imagine you have the company, or maybe you launched a new product into the market. Okay, what people are talking about your particular product? That is what exactly the current situation. Some people are talking about positive, some people are talking about negative, some people are talking about the neutral way, or some people are talking about yes, this is the worst product comparing to other, and like that. Okay, so this is the current situation. Okay, where exactly the business is, the current situation, how it is, where the descriptive statistics is talking about. And what about inferential statistics? By taking this data, and okay, we have done modifications. By taking the descriptive data, okay, what are the problems we got, and what are the people are talking about the technical specifications, etc., etc. Let me do some modify. Okay, let me do modify. Okay, let me do modify. Okay, once done modify. Okay, then if we release next version, okay, what people can think about, that means they can talk about positive or negative. I have to be do some prediction, correct? There exactly, the descriptive, sorry, there exactly the inferential statistics will talks about. There exactly inferential statistics are talking about. The descriptive statistics is talking about the current situation of the business, and the inferential statistics is talking about the future. What will happen tomorrow? Today the temperature is like 35 degrees centigrade in Hyderabad. What will happen tomorrow? Is that 37 degrees, or is that 40 degrees, or is that 32 degrees, or is that 28 degrees? So that will call the prediction. That will call the inferential statistics. Okay. Here in the data understanding, we have to be use the statistical techniques. We have to be use the statistical techniques at the same time, not only in the tabular format. A tabular format in the sense, yes, in the number we can get the numbers of the current situation, and we can view the results in the tabular format like SQL. Okay, or Excel. Okay, okay. Not only that, we have to be understand the current situation. Okay, okay, how the business is going on, how is the current business, etc., etc., can be understand by the graphs also. Okay, okay. Then the data understanding or exploratory data analysis will comes into the picture. Okay, generally we can say what is the mean value, what is the mean value, mode value, okay, median, or like that. Not only that, standard deviation also we have to be talk about, and what is the relationships between the variables, etc. The entire thing can be understand in the exploratory data analysis. Okay, okay. After that we have to be perform feature engineering. This is the process of using domain knowledge to extract features from raw data. Okay, from the raw data. That means, see, as a layman, okay, as a new data scientist, or you are new to the data science domain, in my data, just imagine the situation. In my data, or maybe it is Excel sheet, or maybe it is CSV file, or maybe it is okay some other file. Okay, in the data I have so many columns, so many columns. Okay, but which column, I mean, how many columns are important for my particular business problem or problem statement? Okay, okay, there we have to be do some feature engineering techniques. Generally, you see, I'm the fresher, or I have only 3, or I have only 5 years of experience. Even though to retrieve the perfect feature according to the business problem, okay, we need some domain expertise. That means domain expertise in the sense, if you are related to the manufacturing, or if you are related to healthcare guy, or if you are related to the banking guy, or if you are related to the finance, okay, etc, etc. So if you are expertise in that particular area, or any one of the particular area, then it is easy to, okay, this feature is important for this particular problem. Okay, you can guess correct. So the same way, we as a data scientist, apart from that, even though if you don't have that domain expertise, we can use some techniques to retrieve the features. Okay, okay, so we have different methods. We will learn in the following sessions when this particular feature engineering concept will comes into the curriculum. Okay. After that, we have to be create the model. Okay, data is perfect and we have retrieved features perfectly according to the problem statement. Then I have to be call the machine learning model. I have to be called the machine learning model. Okay, the machine learning model, we have so many algorithms. We can say the brains of the missions. Okay, generally how a human have the intelligence, the same way the algorithm will have some intelligence. Okay, the algorithms will sit in the missions. Okay, the missions will act as a human and it will take the decision. So there we have to be create some mathematical formula or algorithm. Okay, that to be applied on this data. Okay, on this data, okay, what we have collected according to the problem statement, and we have purified, then we have understand the data, then we have retrieved some features. Once we done the features, etc, etc, okay, the data is perfect, the data preparation concept is perfect. Then once we done this feature, once we done the data preparation till here, okay, then we have to be implementing the data machine learning model. Okay, okay, so once we implement that model, okay, and maybe you just imagine you successfully implemented, the data is perfect, you got 95% of accuracy or 93% of accuracy. Okay, then you have to be deploy into any one of the cloud. Okay, okay, or maybe if you have the enough infrastructure to deploy the models, then you can go with that particular infrastructure. Okay, then you have to be deploy that model. Okay, then you have to be look up for the real-time data. Okay, we can say this is the batch data, we have the existing data, then we have applied one model, then it is given 95% accuracy. Till here this is fine. From till here, from problems to identification to model creation training, yes, that is fine. At the time of model deployment, we need new data. Correct, that is real-time data. Okay, when we applied on the real-time data, it is giving same 95 accuracy or less than 95 accuracy, or very, I mean, this particular model is working variously on this new data. So there the data drift analysis has to be do. That means the data is not perfect according to the model. Then we have to be go back. That means we can say model recalibration. Okay, that means then we have to be go back. Then we have to be call the data acquisition team. Okay, the data is not perfect. Please try to get check the data and try to correct the data, something else. Okay, what are the I mean, how the problem you can face, you can how to be explain the problem faced to these teams, so then these teams can collect the good data. Okay, then these times collecting the good data, then we have to be come back one by one, please. Hello, hello, I'm getting a lot of noise from your end, guys. Yes, thank you. Okay, once model deployment is over, I mean the data drift analysis is over, then we have to be come back with the model monitoring. Okay, how the model is working. This specify specific model. Okay, okay. Today, yes, model is working. I mean, even I checked on the real-time data. Yes, it is giving 95% of the accuracy. 95% of the accuracy. Okay, but tomorrow what will happen? Tomorrow what will happen? Okay, it is suddenly the data is same, but the suddenly the more accuracy levels got decreased. That means from 95% to 93%, 93% to 90%, but the data is same in the batch oriented, at the same time real oriented data, real time data too. So there we have to be change the model again. Change the model. We can say model drift analysis. Model drift analysis. We have to be change the model. We have to be compare the accuracy with one model to another model. Okay. Then we have to be at the end of this case. Then we have to be show the everything what we have done and how the results, etc., and the dashboard reports. I mean, here we have to be use some visualization techniques again. Okay, we have to be show the report to the client. Okay, this is what exactly the uh, systematic methodology we have to be apply on the data. Okay, okay. Here you have to be start from problem identification to till dashboards. There the data scientist involved in all the phases. There the data scientist will involve all the phases. I can say data scientist data scientist is the key person, or is the leader of this entire project. Okay, he can involve anywhere according to the situation. Okay, they're exactly the data scientist. So data and systematic approach can be handled by the data scientist. They're exactly the data science. Okay, let's go with a small example. Here you see, guys, let me talk the same thing, the systematic approach and how we have the data scientist will solve a particular problem. Here you see, I have the problem statement predicting the total payment for all claims. The simple question according to the insurance domain. Okay, according to the insurance domain. The problem statement is pretty simple, predicting the total payment for all claims. So for that, I have collected the data. The ETL people and other guys are collected data. Okay, the data is like this. Okay, okay. Now, I mean, the ETL guys again involved and they are purifying the data. That means here purifying the data in the sense here you see I got some gap, right? I mean here I got some empty space, and here misspelled, correct? I mean these are all numbers, but it is typed like FIVE, like characters, correct? At the same time, not only English, maybe some other languages. Maybe the five will be in some other language also. But my point is here it is not the number, correct? Okay, and here you see null. Now the data is having some problem before going to store. Okay, loading into the data sources, loading into the databases. Okay, what I have to be do here in the sense I have to be rectify these problems. So in the empty space I have to be fill any one value, And at the same time, instead of FIVE, I have to fill with one number, and instead of NULL, I have to be fill another value. Correct. I have to be do some. I have to be apply some techniques. I have to be do. Then I have to be purify the data. Once data is perfect, here you see. Uh, here you see. I have clear the data. That means the missing value, I mean the empty value is replaced with 56.9, like that. I mean, how you have be used this 56.9 etc will be learned in the coming sessions. Okay. Okay, but here I have purified the data. Okay, the data got purified and stored in our databases. Okay, I mean the data preparation is over. Correct. Once the data preparation is over, now I have to be understand the data. Okay, like I have to be use some descriptive statistics and visualization concept. Okay, how the data and how it is moving from one place to another place, and what is the relationship between the I mean two features are there in between the data, etc. I have to be understand all. Is there any outliers, etc., etc. Even though I have to be checked. Once the data checking all these concepts, then it is ready to model implementation. It is ready to model implementation. I can say here, according to this data, I am applying linear regression algorithm. Okay, this is statistical modeling again. Okay, okay. Here I'm applying the linear regression. Here don't to feel this is a new word or something else. We know this equation already in the mathematics. Y is equal to mx plus c. Correct. This is the equation of straight line. So the same formula as an algorithm in machine learning concept. Okay. Same formula in the machine learning concept as an algorithm. The same thing here I am applying. So the data is talking about, this is the regression line. Okay, the data is talking about like this. That means here regression in the sense it is finding the relationship between the two. That means, for example, if you take temperature and sales, okay, today temperature is 40 degrees centigrade. What will happen? The thumbs up sales, is that increases or is that decreases? That kind of relationship here I am finding with the payment and claims, so according to the business problem. Okay, okay, right, fine. Once we implement this, I mean, till here I have applied the model on batch data. Okay, till here I have applied this model on batch data. Now I have to be applying the real-time data. Real-time data in the sense, okay, from, okay, till today I have collected the data in the night and I have applied the model. The same model I have deployed in the production, I have deployed in the systems. Okay, then tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. to I can collect another data, right? I mean tomorrow's data and day after tomorrow's data, like that. I can collect from day at 6 a.m. So once I collected the data, I have to be give the same data to this existing model, to this existing model. So here the existing model I have applied here, it is talking about, okay, like this. If the claims can be 100, okay, if the claims can be 100, and the what will be the payment? This is predicting here. Our machine learning giving the solution. If you spend if your claims can be 100, in the sense your payment will be 361,294, like that it is predicting. Then we are using the machine learning. Getting the point? This is what exactly the data scientist can do, all this stuff. Okay, so we got the data according to the claims and payments. Okay, claims and payments, and the methodology applied on the claims and payments data, and he is finding one solution. There the data, I mean, he's going in depth of the data, understanding the data, and rectifying the problems of the data and implementing the model. And then he's going to the insights. That means he is finding one solution. This is what exactly the data scientist will do. Getting the point, guys? Okay. Okay, fine. This is what exactly the data science keyword is talking about. Okay. Now, what people are using this data science? I mean, what kind of applications uh, in the industry, uh, how they are using this data science as a solution for for the different domains. Okay, in the healthcare, you know, in the healthcare, we have the diagnostic reports. Generally, the best example, yes, diagnostic reports. Correct. Fine. Diagnostic reports, yes, what it is talking about, even we don't need any doctor to understand that. Even if you are a data scientist, you can understand, yes, this particular person is having pneumonia or COVID or not. And this particular person is having um, cancer or not, etc. We can understand easily by seeing the x-rays, okay, and what doctor provide some diagnostic reports. So from there we can find the solution. Interesting, right? Not only that, even if it is banking, yes, we have to be find the fraudulent customers. So every milliseconds, so millions of crores of transactions can be happen. Where exactly fraudulence can be happens, will takes place or will be going to be happen, etc. can be understand with the banking. Okay, let's comes to the e-commerce. Okay, in retail domain or e-commerce and sales, etc., etc., all comes under the e-commerce. Okay, how many customers are purchasing a particular product today? Very simple question, right? But yes, there's Amazon and Flipkart and Netflix. These guys are finding one solution by using the data science. Okay, and how many sales will be happen today? Yes, people are using data science behind that to find the solution. Okay, how this COVID is spreading? Okay, how the chain will be improved? Okay, there people are using this data science to find the solution. Not only that, manufacturing area. Okay, our production systems working 24 by 7. Okay, our production systems working 24 by 7. Okay, when a particular system will going to be failed, when a particular system, when a particular mission will going to be failed. To understand that point, yes, we can we can provide a data science solution there itself. Okay, logistics, yes. In the logistics, yes, so many goods are traveling and are reaching at particular point. At when it will be going to be reached at I mean, at what time it will be going to be reached, etc. So we can understand with this data science. Okay, even in finance and many more domains, this data science. Not only that, in airways, when a particular flight is going to be reached, okay, I mean, in between, while traveling, is there any problem in the I mean aeroplane? Okay, we can understand before itself by using the data science. Oh, quite interesting, right? That means every industry is using this data science. Okay, who are eligible to this course? I'm a mechanical engineer. Can I eligible for this course? Yes, you are eligible for this course. As an electronics student, are you eligible for this course? Yes, you are eligible for this course. I'm working on testing. I'm working on software testing. Am I eligible for this course? Yes, you are eligible for this course. And not only that, I am working as a Java programmer or Java developer. Are you eligible for this course? Yes, you are eligible for this course. Okay. I mean, every background, even if you are a BCom guy, If you, okay, even if you are a BCom guy, are you eligible for this course? In the sense, yes, you are eligible for this course. Why? Because you can find some fraudulent payments and receipts in between. Okay, so everyone is eligible for this course. But here, the most important thing, what we need is, I mean, you are must be enthusiastic. Must be enthusiastic, and you, if you have the problem solving skills, then you will become as a data scientist. Yeah, education background is not important, but if you know the problem solving and right way, then you are eligible for this data science course. Okay, what are the tools and skills we need? Yes, people are talking about R language, people are talking about the Python language, people are talking about Scala language, people are talking about MATLAB, people are talking about Stata, people are talking about SPSS, like that. Different kind of tools are available where you are familiar. First, you have to be think about that. What you are familiar with the R programming, yes, you can go with R programming. Or if you are familiar with the Python programming, then you are going with the, you have to go with the Python programming. Or if you are comfortable with the SAS, then you can go with the SAS. If you are comfortable with the MATLAB, then you have to be go with the MATLAB. Any one of the programming, any one of the program, or any one of the tool you can use. And finally, your way, or your problem is, you have to be find a solution for the business problem statement. Correct. Not only that, not only programming language, you have to be go with the machine learning at the same time. The machine learning concepts are purely talking about the algorithms, and we need some uh 1 second, guys. Yeah, I got a question. I'm yeah, uh I'm 2014 pass out. I have done BE in EC. Okay, I have experience in teaching field. I know CC. Should I do this course? Yes, you can do this course. So you have some basic programming skills, because you can train, you can convert mathematical equations into the computer science. That skills you have with the C and C++, then you are really eligible for this course. And what salary? Yes, see, according to the experience, the salaries will be takes place. Correct. Okay, just to go with Naukri.com or timejobs.com, you can get more knowledge about the salaries. But as a data scientist, yes, you have the awesome salaries. Okay, that is what Ashish. Okay, fine. And we okay, not we are talking about the algorithms, right? Yes, algorithms, some statistics. Okay, and the data visualization. Yes, people in the industry, yes, people are using some Tableau, Cognos, ClickView, different kind of tools, because everything can, in industry, for everything, for every point in the methodology, yes, people are going with the different types of tools. So because they are already having some exposures or expertise in that particular tool, that resources are already available and they already purchased some tools, they want to be showcased, they want to be show the reports. Okay, by using that particular tools. But here in my curriculum, I can go with the Python. I can show the how you have to be visualize the data, and how you have to be find the relationship between the data. Okay, we have different kind of um, graphical techniques. Yes, I can teach all this in our curriculum. Okay, yeah, data warehousing according to the problem statement. Yes, what I mean, how much data I mean, the traffic of the data. I mean, I am getting huge data. Okay, data science can be applied on small data at the same time, big data too. Big data too. Okay. So I have to be based on problem statement where we have to be store the data is that normal databases, or I have to be go with the Hadoop kind of databases, etc. Okay. Yeah, Hadoop, okay, it will be in the second part of the data science, that is advanced level. I can go with the Hadoop concepts. Okay, even Spark and Hadoop, that will be in the advanced data sciences. I mean, here I'm talking about the basic level data science, right? I mean, uh, here you can get you can figure out full structure of full structure of full methodology of data science. And if you want to be go with, if you are already done basic level data science, then you are eligible for the advanced level data science. Okay. So yeah, this particular session is talking about the basic level data science. So I can cover Python, I can go with the statistics, I can go with the machine learning. Okay. Okay. But visualization part and exploratory analysis part, etc., will comes under this. Okay, fine, fine. So here, what we done? So today, what recap? Let's recap what we have learned today. What is data science? No, it is not covering Scala. I can use in advanced level. I can cover PySpark. I mean, I am using Python itself and the Hadoop systems also. I cannot cover Scala. Okay. Uh, okay. That is what Yukti. I think you got my point. Okay. And to recap, today what we covered in our curriculum, what is data science? I mean, where people are using this data science, and what are the industries, I mean, what are the domains people are using this data science, who are eligible to this course. Why you want to be learner to this data science course? If you want to become as a data scientist, then you you are eligible to learn this course at the same time. Okay. And what are the skills you need? Yes, we we need some Python, we need some statistics, and we need some machine learning concepts. Okay. Then you will become as a data scientist. And here, what is my flow for entire curriculum in the sense? First, I can go with the Python. Okay. Like I can cover both the core Python, I mean, which is important for the data scientist. And not only that, I can go with advanced Python. I mean, where numerical Python, NumPy, and Pandas, okay, etc. The advanced level Python, which is related to the data science, I can cover both, and I can show some graphs there itself. I mean, explore the data by using graphics also, right? Graphs also, right? So I can cover that part. Why you first Python in the sense? Yes, you have to be do some data engineering skills, right? And that means data preparation you have to be do. Correct. For that reason, I can go with the Python. Then I can go with the statistics. I mean, I can teach the descriptive and inferential statistic, hypothesis testing, etc. Okay. And then with Python and statistics, you can understand how you have to be explore the data and what you mean by that, etc. You can understand. Then I can go with the, once the data is prepared perfectly, then the exploratory data is talking about something, then you have to be implement the model. Correct. So there the machine learning will comes into the picture. The algorithms will take care of there itself. So this is my flow of the basic data science course. Okay. Okay. Python and statistics and machine learning. This is what exactly I can teach in the basic level data science course. Okay, guys. Now this is your time. Please feel free for questions. Let me answer one by one. Hello guys. Is it cover OpenCV? Yes. Image analytics will be covered in advanced level. I can cover OpenCV at the same time CNN, convolutional neural network, RNN, recurrent neural networks, like that. We have different kinds of neural network methodology that will comes under the advanced level. Okay. Yes, Yukti. Do you have any more questions? What about Harendra Mishra? Do you have any questions? So fees you have to be asked that institute people. That guys will answer you. They'll get back to you with all the details. Ashish, do you have any questions? And Harendra, do you have any questions? Okay, guys. If you don't have any other questions, okay, let me wind up here. Tomorrow we can talk about what exactly the machine learning because and what is artificial intelligence. Yes, we talk about that particular part. Yeah. Yes. It has basic and advanced course, right? Yes. Here the course is divided by two parts. It has basic level and advanced level in the data science. Duration, yes, it is around 2 months. Okay. Okay, guys. Um, let me wind up here itself. Okay. Tomorrow we meet at 10 a.m. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Even if you have any more questions, yes, feel free and let me wait 2 or more minutes. And if not, okay, let me wind up here itself. Yeah. I'm just waiting for your questions. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the time. Bye, guys. Thank you all.